Welcome back to the New York Sports Exchange, episode number 123. And the Michigan Wolverines are your national champions. Fuck.
Ew, gross. It's just gross.
Disgusting. Disgusting. I hate them. I don't know why. I just hate them.
It's honestly, it's this whole America's team. We're on our back. Like, I don't like Harbaugh. I don't like anybody there except for honestly. Shout out Michi. I feel bad for him. With what happened with him, but
Yes.
JJ McCarthy and all of them can just no.
Shout out Connor Stallions. I like Connor Stallions. Good for Connor Stallions. National champion. We missed a lot. We missed a lot this past couple of weeks. We missed the entire playoff. We missed the national championship. Three of the greatest coaches to ever step on a football field have called it quits. Well, one not necessarily called it quits, but leaving the New England Patriots, Bill Belichick. Nick Saban leaving Alabama or to retire. Pete Carroll stepping down from his Seahawks role to become a senior advisor in the Seahawks front office. A lot going on. Knicks traded R.J. Barrett and Emmanuel Quickly for OG Anunoby. We will dive into that trade as well. It is also Super Wildcard Weekend. We're recording this at 11:30 on Saturday morning, right before the games. We will give our picks and predictions and a new contest as well. And speaking of contests, I lost by a game. One game.
It comes down to it. Comes down to the pushes. I knew it would. It was. I got a push, and you got a loss, and that works for me.
We had the same amount of pushes.
Yeah, you know what? I had more wins then. I had more wins. So it's better gambling.
Disgusting. Beat ups tonight. Be sure to be on the lookout for a beat ups video on this very tripod. Can't wait. I'm not looking forward to it. I mean, I've done research and it's just like they say it's not too terrible. So whatever. We're gonna act like the fucking.
You'll be all right. You won't die. We're not gonna have to take you to the ER. Stan. We'll be okay.
No, I don't have to sign a waiver. I hope not. Yeah, we'll live. New contest for the playoffs. So let's just dive into it right away. We haven't spoken in a while about sports in general. So, Michigan, national champions. What a terrible game from Michael Penix.
That's all I so boring. Just so boring to watch. Just what a terrible game to watch. Like it wasn't interesting at all.
It wasn't. It wasn't.
We'll look back. Think about like we've seen these past champions where you had like Joe Burrow throw for like 500 yards and you had these crazy catches. JJ McCarthy threw for 140 yards with no touchdowns. I don't know. The air ball is interesting. I don't need to see a team run up the middle 115 times against a terrible Washington defense that we all knew it was going to happen. It wasn't my favorite game, Stan. I'm just going to leave it at that.
It wasn't my favorite game either, but I just think I looked back to the Washington offense, and that's their strong suit, and Michael Penix did not perform up to his expectations. It's because that Michigan defense was ridiculous. That defense, they're getting a lot of praise, and deservedly so, because they came to play. And that running back duo of Donovan Edwards and Blake Corum for Michigan, man. Woo! Ridiculous.
Edwards had 6 carries for 104 yards. He was averaging 17.3 yards per carry. You know how ridiculous that is in a championship game?
Thank those two runs in the beginning of the game. That's really all that comes down to it at the end of the day. I just don't like Michigan. I just don't like Michigan.
No, I don't think anyone does. Anyone who's like not a Michigan fan doesn't like Michigan.
Sorry, I can't. I'm happy for Connor Stallions, and I'll just leave it at that because that. But nonetheless, still a lot to talk about in college football.
Congratulations to Michigan. Championship. I guess we could leave it at that. Congratulations to Michigan, Stan.
Yeah, congrats, Michigan. Still a lot to talk about with college football. Nick Saban has retired. And new head coach for Alabama will be introduced at 2 o'clock Eastern today. Washington head coach, Kalen DeBoer, now the head coach of the University of Alabama. No ties to Alabama, has never coached at Alabama. Was an offensive coordinator at an NAIA school for a couple years, then became the head coach, only lost 3 games there. Then became the offensive coordinator at Indiana. That's where he had his moment with Michael Penix, then gets hired as head coach at Washington, only lost, 5 games there at Washington?
Yeah,
so this guy's a born winner. Do I think that he knows what he's up for? Yes, but no.
No, I'm with you. I
I
think I think Saban was such a big factor for pulling these kids into Alabama, and I understand like their
well,
their
Milroe's
history
staying.
and yeah, okay, yeah, it's fine. But like, I'm just talking future wise because this team lost to Michigan. They're losing some players. They're not the same team they were. I know their recruiting class is good, but you got to look at some of these other colleges. Oregon has a top 3 recruiting class. You got teams like Texas getting younger and better. Is it? I'm just gonna ask you this
Yeah,
question, Stan.
yeah,
Is Bama's
Dylan Gabriel as well.
is Bama's time
Is
on
Bama
top?
what?
Is Bama's time on top slowly falling? Are they gonna fall out to be maybe like looking at like an 8 seed team? Now we got this new college playoff format. Are they gonna be one of those like later in teams, not one of these powerhouses that we're normally used to seeing?
I don't like. Here's the thing. I don't know because looking back on it, it's like okay, yeah, like the dynasty's over, but we got to think before Saban, Bama was already a dynasty. Bama was already a dynasty with Bear Bryant. Do I think that they found another Bear Bryant or Nick Saban? Probably not. If we look back at this in 5 years and Kalen DeBoer is up there as one of the greatest college football coaches of all time, then hand up. I was wrong. A lot of people were wrong about Saban, and look at him. So there's sort of a like I think this guy can get it done because he's a born winner when it comes to coaching. But at the same time, I know we joke about it. He I, he doesn't know the beast that is SEC football.
Nope.
He does not know the beast, especially with now Texas and Oklahoma coming, and his first home game as an SEC his first SEC game at home as Alabama head coach is going to be against Georgia.
Yeah.
Oof.
This is the hardest time to be a new coach in the SEC, especially expanding, getting all these new teams in, and now, like you just said, first game home against Georgia. They're probably not going to win. Let's be honest here. I'm not knocking it here, but the way Georgia's built and the way I don't know. I don't know, Stan. I don't.
It's
I you know
it's Kirby's league. It's Kirby's league now. It's Kirby's league.
Yeah. I don't see Bama being that
I keep on
powerhouse they
having
used to
to
be.
fix these freaking AirPods.
Yeah, get rid of the pros. They stink.
I mean, I think that will they be good this year? Absolutely. The pros. Oh yeah. I think I think they'll be good. I think they'll definitely be up there in the playoff conversation next year. But I just don't. I don't know. Well, we'll have to see. I obviously have to see how his press conference goes. We obviously have to see how who comes in, who leaves, who stays, the whole big thing. Because remember, Washington did very well in the portal. They got former Mississippi State quarterback Will Rogers. They had him set up to be the Penix replacement. DeBoer takes the job. Now he's in the portal again. So we'll see what happens on the Washington side of things. I've heard one name, my old enemy Tim. You know who I'm talking about. Cliff Kingsbury has been linked to the Washington job. So
Yep. You're looking at a mediocre
maybe,
football program for probably the rest of time if he's there.
yeah, I think their time is done. I think that
The short
their
run's
time is
over, but it,
done.
it was it was
Washington,
it was fun to see.
don't cry because it's over. Smile because it happened. That's my thoughts with
Perfect way to put it.
University of Washington football program right now. I feel like I'm missing other college football news. Oh, I just find it funny how like Nick Saban is so great that coaches had to make hype videos about them being like, "I'm not taking this job."
Yeah. Well, hey, Dan
The
Lanning's went
Dan
hard. You
Lanning,
can't even. That one went hard. You can't tell me that got me
went
hyped
hard.
up.
That went
That
hard.
got me hyped up.
The Dan Lanning video did go hard. I will admit that, yes. But like Steve Sarkisian, I feel like there was no way he was leaving. They made him a hype video. Mike Norvell got an extension. Like,
Yeah, immediately after they were like he potentially could be going to Bama. They were like, nah, we're just gonna resign you.
potentially, nah. Here's 80 million. 8 years, 10 million. Take your 80 million.
Delete the
Like
tweet.
there's
It didn't
that,
happen.
and then the whole
Delete the tweet. Didn't happen. You got 80 million.
like
Delete the tweet.
what a fucking job by the agent. Because all of these guys, so I forget what the guy's name is. One of his clients retires, Nick Saban. Two of his clients end up getting extensions in Mike Norvell and someone else. I forget who. I know someone got an extension, but I forget who it was. Two of his clients get extensions, and then his other client, Kalen DeBoer, gets the Alabama job. What a job by that agent.
Dude's
God
racking
bless
in money. He's gonna get some nice little bonus checks in for him.
him. Yeah, he's getting some nice money coming in. Although I am happy to see that Kalen DeBoer is the head coach of Alabama, I'd be remiss to mention that I would have laughed my ass off if Dabo Sweeney became the head coach of Alabama.
It would have just been funny. Like not even like I don't really care in like a football aspect. Like it's just funny. Like that would have been so funny.
Because the story makes sense. He's from Alabama. He walked on at Alabama. He was a graduate assistant at Alabama. The story's there. The story was there, and it's just funny to me how Alabama fans and students, they were literally like having those tributes at Saban's statue, and one kid was like, "Say it with me," and started a "anyone but Dabo" chant, and they're all saying "anyone but Dabo, anyone but Dabo."
You know what? It's crazy to me because he used to play there. He used to coach. Like he was a part of that program for a long time.
He was a part of the program. Like he's from Birmingham, born and raised in Birmingham, Alabama.
He's probably the team he pulls for the hardest. And you're looking, and they're just like, "We don't want you at all. Get out of here. Leave us alone, please."
But then a Dabo Sweeney quote did come out because there was rumors, there were rumblings about him taking that job, and it was getting close. But Dabo Sweeney commented to the team about Alabama's interest, and he said, "I was always an Alabama boy, but now I'm a Clemson man."
Shout out to him, I guess.
God.
They stink. They should probably figure out what they got to do first before saying you're a Clemson man. Let's maybe have above 7 wins.
I'm gonna be on my Dabo shit when NCAA 25 comes out. I'm just gonna tweet shit and just be like, "I thought young men honored their commitments." Right. When the world puts a period and an exclamation point, God puts a comma.
You're gonna get NCAA 25 and just take Army to the national championship in the first week. the ground and pound game till it's over.
I'm building that team through God's name, image, and likeness, man.
All right, Bagel Boss, chill out.
That's still my favorite Dabo quote. When the world puts a period and a exclamation point, God puts a comma. God puts a comma.
I don't know. That quote
nonetheless, speaking of coaching retirement.
You remember that Bagel Boss video? It was like, "You're not my boss, my father, or God. Get out of my face."
That's okay.
Women on dating sites
laugh at me every day.
Not women in general. Women on these dating sites. You think it's okay to tell them to kill myself because I'm 5 foot? Think that's okay? And then when the dude grabs him by the throat and tackles him in the bagel shop.
Oh yeah. You're making me fuck up my AirPods, Tim. Oh my god. Anyway, that's enough of Nick Saban. Great career, 7 national championships, 6 with Alabama, 1 with LSU. Good luck to Kalen DeBoer, because seriously, I don't think he. I think he's ready, but I don't think he's really ready. Yes, I don't think he's really ready. In other news, head coaching, not necessarily retirements, but Bill Belichick, no longer with the New England Patriots. Tim, the floor is yours. You guys beat him in your final game.
Finally.
It's poetic justice. It's poetic justice.
Listen, as much as I did want to lose that game. Go ahead.
That's if you are mad, if you're a Jeff, and this goes to Giant fans too. If you're mad, I think Joe Beningo said it best on his podcast. If you're upset, if you're a Jet fan and you're upset that you won that game because of draft position, and you beat Bill Belichick in his final game as New England Patriots head coach, and this man has tortured you for the past 25 plus years, and you're upset over draft position, Joe Beningo said it best. Stick it up your ass.
I agree with you completely.
Stick it up your ass.
You got to think of it from this perspective, right? We haven't beat them since 2016. So this is ridiculous that I'm even saying that, but now we finally have his final game. So we just stuck it to the guy that's been kicking our ass for the past, 20 years, and I'm sick of it because, even when they suck, they still beat us.
Exactly.
But he's finally gone. It's a new era. New England stinks. They got Mac Jones to deal with. They signed Jared Mayo. I think was their head coach.
Oh yeah, he's the new head coach. It seemed like he was always the guy, especially like going into this year, and it was like, might be Bills last year. Gerard Mayo coming in, so
Yeah.
he's the
Well,
guy. I don't really have much about him. He knows the Patriot way.
this is the best thing that could have happened for Jets fans. Think about it this way: Bill Belichick, on his high horse, high praise, all these Super Bowls, goes out on the bottom, last in the division, loses to the Jets, has a terrible quarterback, terrible season. His, relationship with Robert Kraft has been diminished since Brady left after he won a Super Bowl. They clearly didn't like each other. Reports were coming out about that. He went
Yes.
out on the bottom. He didn't go out on top. He went out on the bottom. So if you're a Jets fan, take that as like a Super Bowl win. This guy came in, he's had all these, winning years, and his record without Brady was what, like 47-57? It wasn't good at all. He's been a losing coach since. So take what you can get.
It wasn't that good.
Yeah. Congrats to him. Amazing
Still,
career.
still the,
But it's over. He's gone.
still
And
the
thank
greatest of
God.
all time,
But he's gone.
yeah.
Thank God.
Well, he might get a job. We never know.
He's gone in this
I
division.
know that
He's out of the division. He's out of the division. That's all I care. He's gone.
He's out of the
He's out of the division. He's out of the division.
He's out of the division. In other news, Pete Carroll out the door. Seattle does not have a head coach, and said Pete Carroll is now a senior advisor in the Seahawks front office. He's still with the organization, but no longer the head coach. I don't even know who's in the running here for this one, because I don't think the Seahawks have done anything.
No, I don't know anything.
The Titans have completed a bunch of interviews and all that, so I have no idea what they're gonna do. Did it feel like it was time? Because they had a really good year. They didn't make the playoffs, but it seemed like
His run's over. His run's over.
I feel like he had a couple more years left in him.
Maybe
you know
what?
A couple more years.
Maybe with another program, but I don't think it's Seattle. I think honestly, when Russell Wilson kind of got out of there and they were figuring out a whole quarterback situation, Geno was only supposed to be a replacement.
But then he makes the playoffs with playoffs with Geno Smith.
True. I'll give you that. But they don't make the playoffs this year. They have
a
little bit. You re-signed
right.
Geno to an extension. Like, this is supposed to be a bigger step. Moving forward, not back. They got better, not worse. Another year older of Wooden and all these guys, and they didn't make the jump. And he's getting old. It just doesn't. It doesn't seem. It seems better for him to be an advisor than a head coach on the field.
I'll be honest. They also benefited last year from the Rams being injury prone.
Exactly.
And now the Rams are back. They added Puka Nacua. Yeah, exactly. In Giant news, what a fucking week in Giant land with Wink Martindale no longer the defensive coordinator of the Giants. Yeah. Am I shocked? No. Am I shocked about the way he left? Absolutely. I'll just say this: Wink's a fucking diva. Like, he's 60 years old. So for those who don't know, it came out that after the press conference with Shane and Dable said, "I fully expect Wink and Kafka to be back." I'm like, okay, which is fine. The defense was all right. It was the sole bright spot of the team this year, especially
the only positive we really had.
The Eagles. Yes. All of a sudden, I get a tweet, Jordan Rannon, saying, don't be surprised. According to my source, don't be surprised if Wink Martindale is not back. And then 5 minutes later, he resigns. Eventually, what happened was, the blame went to Brian Dable, because it was sort of like, what are you doing? Sort of being like, it's my way. Like, basically creating a toxic culture. Basically saying, like, because you know how Dable is. He wants his coaches to be held accountable, but here's the thing, it's providing results, so who cares? Fast forward a day later, a report comes out, the whole story comes out. Basically, Wink Martindale was hired along with the Wilkins brothers, who Drew Wilkins was, or Kevin Wilkins, Drew Wilkins, I don't know. Whichever one the brother was. He was the linebackers coach. And let's all be honest here, the linebackers, by pass rushing, were not the greatest. I think they were like Thibodeau and Ojulari. Their pass rush success rate was not good. It was a smart fire to make. Dable has his exit meeting with Wink and basically says, "Hey, I want you back, but here's the thing: we got to fire the Wilkins brothers, but we want you back." Wink fucking loses his shit. He's basically curses Dable out. He's like, fuck you, all this, and storms out. I'm resigning. Never signed his papers, nothing. And now we don't have a defensive coordinator. But my favorite part of this story is what happened during the year. It seemed like Wink and the Wilkins brothers were not fans of the system that Dable was running, to the point where they felt like they only needed to respond to each other and ownership, not Brian Dable. Dable gets a word of this, thinking that like his entire defensive staff is like going against him. He fucking Dable walks into a defensive meeting and is like, "If anybody has a problem with me, fucking say something." Nobody said a fucking word. So that's how I feel about all the defensive assistants, that how they felt about Wink Martindale and the Wilkins brothers.
That's such a
I'm glad
baller
they're
move,
gone.
though.
Giants got a
Walking
nice
into
offensive.
walking
I
into
know.
a defensive meeting like
Yeah.
that, and you're just like, if anyone's got anything to say it to my face, and no one says anything. It's like, get the fuck out of here.
Could have worked. Yeah, really. So I mean, like the defense was good, but I mean, Wink's a bit of a prima donna with the whole. You saw his like play call sheet.
Yeah.
Yeah, like what are you doing? You're 60. You're 60 years old wearing a cutoff sleeve in 20-degree weather. Like, get over yourself.
Sending a message.
Get over yourself. Yeah, I guess it's sending a message, but whatever. Yeah. So the Giants also, not only with Wink Martindale resigning, fired, whatever the fuck you want to call it, they fired Bobby Johnson, and Bobby Johnson, great friend of Brian Dable. Brian Dable, like, was gutted to make that fire, but knew it was for the better of the organization. So fine with that. They bring in I forget what his name is now, but the offensive line coach from the Raiders. Basically the same. It's basically Brian Dable's clone. Chubby, bald, with a beard, just his clone. Love it. I'm forgetting his name, but his success with the Raiders offensive line, the 2 years that he was there, was outstanding. He took a bunch of nobodies on the offensive line in Vegas 2 years ago, turned him into a top 10 offensive line unit in football. Now imagine what he can do with Evan Neal, who, to be honest, struggling a lot. John Michael Schmitz, our rookie center from Minnesota, he regressed towards the end of the year as well. Carmen Brasillo, thank you. I was fucking losing my shit. Carmen Brasillo, now the offensive line coach of the Giants. And Thomas McGaughey, also gone, so we need a special teams coordinator. Mike Kafka completed an interview with the Titans as head coach. To be honest, I would not be opposed to him leaving as well, because some of his play calls this past year were fucking ridiculous. One that comes to mind, Christmas Day, halfback draw up the middle. On like second, like 2-minute drill, game-winning drive, game-tying drive, and you run a halfback draw. What are you doing? I don't know what they were thinking there. Yeah, so that's my piece with the Giants. I
wish I had some new coach.
Going.
I wish I had some new staff news for the Jets, but apparently we're keeping everyone, so I don't. But
Stupid.
Whatever. Woody got to go.
Did you see Taylor Lewan? What he posted?
What do you say?
He posted like a tribute to Vrabel. Also, Vrabel got fired. I mean, that's.
Well, I wanted the Jets to sign him immediately, but that's not going to happen.
I guess not. He posted a Vrabel tribute. Said, "Still blown away. Vrabes was fired this afternoon. Guy is a dude's dude who got players ready every week with a clear game plan. Loved him as a coach. Parentheses except 2018, which is where I believe he got benched. I think. I don't know. I could be wrong. Loved his coaching staff. Parentheses besides Keith Carter, who is the current offensive line coach of the Jets.
Great.
No, running backs coach.
Yeah.
What is he? He's a running backs coach. Yeah, the current running backs coach of the Jets. So that's nice. And then Breece Hall also replied, saw that on Twitter, and responded with laughing emojis. So yeah, there's that. That's awesome. Great day to be a Jet fan, isn't it?
It's always a great day to be a Jet fan, Stan. I'm always in Candyland.
Yes. All right. Speaking of NFL, we dove into all the retirements, and let's get started. It's playoff football, baby. That's for NFL Super Wildcard Weekend. Here's how we are going to do our contest. It's a simple contest, no crazy punishment. We are going to be making bets from every game. The catch is we'll keep record of it. The loser on opening day has to wear a jersey of the opposite team. So if I win, Tim's got to wear a Yankee jersey on opening day. If I lose, I got to wear a Mets jersey on opening day. Nothing too bad.
Yeah, it's not. I
think
mean,
it's
we're
fine.
not doing another blazing challenge. I can't. I don't know. There's not enough
Yeah,
time for that.
there's not enough time. We'll both be home for opening day as well, or somewhat be home for opening day. So
Yeah.
take
So we should be
yeah,
around for that.
should be around for that. So let's get it started. Super wild. I hate how they call it Super Wild Card Weekend. Just call it Wild Card Weekend. But nonetheless, Texans Browns today at 4:30. Browns favored by 2.5. Total set at 45. Tim, what do you think?
I honestly, you know what? I really like the Texans in this game. I really do. They're home. CJ Stroud's coming back, but the big thing for me is the way Flacco plays. He's he's thrown 13 touchdowns in what 8 games, whatever it is. But
Yes.
he's turned the football over a ton. He plays a very aggressive style game, and in the playoffs, especially away, I don't know if that's going to help them out. If he can't
Yeah.
handle the football well today, it could be over quickly. And I like my money on Stroud, so I'm going to go with the Texans here.
Yeah, I'm going with the Texans as well. We look back to New Year's Eve where these two teams played each other. CJ Stroud was out. Who was it? Davis Mills, a quarterback, I believe. Yes, it was. Cleveland was favored by 3. Now they play each other again, same place, but a different quarterback, CJ Stroud. And Cleveland's only favored by 2.5. There's no way that CJ Stroud makes a half-point difference in this football game with the way that he's been playing of late. Plus, that Cleveland defense on the road, I believe they don't play well on the road. I think they give up 27 points per game on the road. And compared to their home stats, it's a complete 180. So give me the Texans plus 2.5. If it drops to 1.5, I'll just take the money line. I might even take the money line even with the 2.5. So
I have Texans money line.
Still rolling with the Texans. I'm taking the 2 plus 2.5, but we'll leave it at that. Next up, the Dolphins and the Chiefs. One of two. What do we want? Ice bowls, frozen bowls, whatever the fuck we want to call it.
-30 wind chill bowls, whatever you want to call it.
-30, yeah. Kansas City favored by 4.5. Total set at 43.5. Tim, what do we think?
I don't think Miami's ready for this, to be honest with you. I think it's going to be way too cold in Kansas City for them to really get active. I think Cheetah's used to it, but Tua's from Hawaii. Is that really going to help him?
Yeah.
No. I like Kansas City -5. I think they're used to the elements by now. They're more of a seasoned vet team.
Okay.
A lot of these guys have been here. I think Mahomes can handle it decently enough. I like them -5. I'm going to take the Chiefs -5.
I'm taking
Also,
the under.
and wait, hold on. I also want to mention that Miami has beaten one team this year over 500? One?
Yes. Well,
So-
I was just going to bring that up.
Take that into account.
So I'm taking the under of 43.5. Miami averages 17 points a game against teams over 500. That's bad. Especially in the weather that they're going to be playing in tonight. It's going to be. I don't think that they're going to survive. On Chiefs' side, on the other hand, their receivers outside of Kelsey are not playmakers. I don't see them having really great days, and it all depends. Honestly, the weather's also a factor as well. If there's high wind, they're probably going to lean towards running the ball. You don't want the wind to play a factor here. So run the football, burn that clock out. I'm going with the under 43.5.
I like it.
Leaving it simple. Next up to the Sunday games. We go to Buffalo, the other Frozen Bowl, as we're going to call it. Buffalo, favored by 9.5, total set at 33.5. This is one of my favorite bets. I love all these bets, if I'm being honest.
It's going to be a hard game for the Steelers without TJ Watt. I don't really know how well that defense is going to hold up without him. And the way Buffalo's been playing, it's really hard not to pick them. So I think Buffalo's going to win this game. My best bet for this game is honestly Josh Allen over 1.5 passing touchdowns. I know it might be a little cold, but I still think he's going to move the ball well. This is a good Buffalo team. They've been playing like, I don't want to say a number 1 seed because I do like the Ravens, but them and the Ravens have kind of been 1 and 2 right now in this AFC for me. So I'm going to take them over the Steelers and Josh Allen over 1.5 passing touchdowns.
I'm taking the Steelers plus the 9.5. And when I look at this, I look at 2 things. I look to the wind. There's like 30-mile-an-hour winds or something like that, which means that they're not going to be throwing the ball a lot. Both teams are going to be leaning towards the run game. Then I look at that total. It dipped from 42.5 to 33.5. That's a big drop because of the weather. If the total is that low at 33.5 and the spread's at 9.5, I'm taking the Steelers. I'm taking the Steelers here. Both teams are going to be running the clock. running the ball, wasting a lot of clock because of the high winds. And I think the Steelers' run game is better as of late than the Dolphins' run game. I don't feel like I've heard James Cook's name in a while. And Najee Harris, I've been hearing his name a lot. So I'm rolling with the Steelers plus 9.5. Do I think they win? No, but I do think that they cover.
I mean, 9.5 is fat, and it's a playoff game. So
it's a playoff game. Yeah, exactly. Next up, we go to Dallas. Cowboys laying 7. Laying the 7 points. Total set at 50.5. What do you think here? I have one that I love. And it's been very profitable all year for me.
You know what? I like Green. I love the way Jordan Love's been playing as of recent. I think he's, kind of blooming into that quarterback they thought he was going to be. I don't think this Green Bay team's ready. I like the Dallas defense. I think this offense has been phenomenal all year long. And honestly, my best bet for this game is Dak Prescott under 0.5 interceptions. I like him to take care of the ball well today. Today at 4. I think if they're going to win, or tomorrow, sorry. But I think if they're going to win, it's really up to him to take care of the football, no turnovers, no nothing. Just keep getting it to CeeDee Lamb, keep that offense on the field, let them do their thing, and I think they'll take care of business. I like that, under 0.5 interceptions.
All right. I'm going to go with the Cowboys first half spread minus 4.5. This bet's been very profitable all year, and it's very simple. The Cowboys are the highest scoring team in the NFL in the first half, averaging almost 20 points a game, while the Packers only average 9 points a game in the first half. I also look to experience. The Packers, they're young. We get it. They're young. They're hungry. Jordan Love, Christian Watson haven't really played much haven't played any playoff NFL football. And plus, you never know with them. Look at that Tommy DeVito game. I look back to that Giant game. They looked abysmal. And, Dak's got something to prove. Mike McCarthy, let's all be honest here, he might be coaching for his job because Schefter is hinting that some playoff team is going to be firing their head coach. So I'm taking the first half spread minus 4.5. All right. Next up, one of my favorite games.
Had me in a blender, Stan.
Favorite game.
I have no idea.
Oh my God.
What?
Steelers Bills has been postponed.
Who's the weather?
Because of weather. Monday at 4:30. Wow.
I like my 1.5 touchdown bets even more now.
Wow, that changes.
Wait for me to get that line in before it changes to 2.5. That's lit for me.
Wow. So we have a doubleheader on Monday.
There we go.
Holy shit. Even though we get bonus football, but we lose a game. Holy shit. I did not see that coming. Yep. Breaking. New York Governor Kathy Hochul says the Steelers and the Bills will be postponed until 4:30 p.m. on Monday. Wow. That's insane.
Yeah.
All right, so there goes my Steelers bet. Anyway. I don't get this. I don't like it. Whatever. I'm over it. Anyway, moving on. Rams, Lions. Lions favored by 3, total set at 51.5. What do you think of this one? You were struggling with this one, Sam.
Dude, I don't know who wins. I really don't know who wins this football game, to be honest with you. Matt Stafford's coming back to Detroit. I love the way that offense has been moving in Los Angeles. But again, I've been riding Dan Campbell in this Detroit Lions team all year long. It'd be shame of me to stop doing it now. Now, I'm not going to take any of them to win. I think they do win this game, but I'm going to stay away from the Lions because I'm not a huge fan of it. What I really do like is Amon-Ra St. Brown over 0.5 receiving touchdowns. I think this is going to be a big game for him. If he can show up and do what he's done all year long, get those easy receptions, yards after reception, and turn those into some touchdowns, I think they'll have no problem, especially if he scores at least one. I think they win this game. So that's my bet. If he can get in the end zone, I think they win this football game.
I'm taking the Rams plus 3. Dan Campbell loves playing with fire, and I think last week it might have cost him. They only had a 10% chance to get the 2 seed, and they play the starters. Sam Laporta gets hurt. He's questionable with a knee injury. Even if he plays, I don't think he's going to have the same impact that he would have when healthy. While the Rams rested all of their starters last week, Stafford, Kupp, Kyren Williams, even I know Puka Nacua played for a receiving yards record. So, I mean, and he sat out for most of the second half of that game anyway. So he'll be well rested. They seem to have the upper hand here. And plus that Lions secondary is absolutely terrible. So Give me the Rams +3. I'm taking it.
I don't hate it. Again, I'm
I
wrestling
know
over this
we
game.
I
I
know
don't
we
know.
say the same. I know we say that the same old lines are dead, but I just don't think they win this game.
I don't blame you.
I just don't think they win this game. And last but not least, the Eagles taking on the Bucks in Tampa. I think it has dropped to 2.5. Yes, it has. Spread's dropped to 2.5. Eagles favored by 2.5. Total set at 43. What do you have here?
I have the Bucks winning this football game.
Yeah, I was just gonna say.
I think Philly has been on an unbelievable downward spiral as of recently. You know, you play that game when AJ Brown gets hurt,
AJ Brown's out as well.
Jalen Hurts gets hurt. Yeah, all these guys are getting injured. I don't know. I don't see him getting done this year. I think Sirianni loses his job. I think this is a Bucks team that's been motivated.
He's also coaching for his job
I think if they don't even get past the second round, I think he's canned. So I think right now, this is a Bucks team that's, proven people wrong, especially with Baker Mayfield behind the dish. He's really been, handling this team well and kind of boosting them to where they are. And I really do. I think they're motivated. And I also just hate Philly. Philly's been playing terrible, and I have no reason to like them. So let's see what the Bucks
my
do.
plays at a pure hate. I got it at +3. This plays at a pure hate. I feel like ever since the Niners lost back in early December, there have been nothing but excuses for the Eagles. That Niners loss at home. The best team in the NFC. You lose to the Cowboys. Cowboys at home, undefeated at home, whatever. Brush it off. Played two really good teams in the NFC, whatever. Play the Seahawks, you lose. Jalen Hurts was questionable with an illness. He wasn't at 100%. He was sick. Against the Giants, we let him in. We let him play for a bit. It was only, even if they scored the touchdown, they wouldn't have gotten the 2-point conversion, and I know that. You play the Cardinals again. You play the Cardinals. Jonathan Gannon knows the system. Oh well. Brush it off. The Giants, again, there's no excuse for that. They just laid back.
Yeah.
You just laid back and died. If I'm being honest, they just laid down and died. And Nick Sirianni's like, oh, we got to play with hunger, we got to play with fire, all this, and here he is benching the starters when
half of them got hurt.
I know that you want to keep everybody healthy, but you had a chance to win the division, and then you don't know what's going on in Dallas right now. We also what happened last year with the Cowboys, that last week of the year where they played Washington and got killed by Sam Howell. But I don't know. I do not like the Eagles team whatsoever. I think the Bucks win this game at home. Baker Mayfield playing with a chip on his shoulder. He's basically playing with house money right now. I think that the three coaches that are in danger of losing their job because Schefter keeps hinting at it, it's going to be Mike McCarthy, Nick Sirianni, and Todd Bowles. All three of them are at risk.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you. I think this is really it almost feels like not like a college football thing where people are retiring and losing their jobs, but this is kind of a huge thing in the NFL now, where you got these playoff teams and they haven't been able to get it done recently.
Yeah,
and now
they got the hottest free agent on the market right now.
That's what I'm saying. There's a lot of teams willing to do a flip now, and it's going to be a big offseason for the NFL. You're going to see a lot of new head coaches and a lot of new staff, so I'm excited.
Two really coveted free agents in the coaching market, in Vrabel and Belichick. Yeah, that's it for NFL. Very very excited for the wildcard games, although we are robbed of a game on Sunday.
We'll be all right.
Thanks. I was gonna make a joke. It would have been all right.
Whatever.
We're gonna do some. Actually, no. Let's talk baseball. The Yankees go ahead and get Marcus Stroman. This is certainly interesting because obviously the Yankees, we know they've needed pitching help for the longest time, and obviously there's two big question marks going into the year: Nestor Cortez, Carlos Rodon. Big question marks going into the year. So now your five starters are looking like Garrett Cole, Carlos Rodon, Marcus Stroman, Nestor Cortez, Clark Schmidt. I'm not.
What are you complaining about? You look what ours looks like?
I'm not too keen on that. Like, here's the thing, which I think Stroman's a good pitcher. He keeps the ball in the yard, great. I'm not worried about him on the field. I'm worried about him off the field.
I thought he was electric. I loved him as a man.
He is. I think he is too. But I just feel like he has some very He's said some things about the Yankees organization that Yankee fans, to their credit, do not like. he has said that the Yankees should be winning World Series left and right with the payroll that they have, but they don't. He said that Yankee fans are a bunch of losers. I mean, like, yeah, I mean,
But
let's call
again,
a spade
okay,
spade here. There's a
he
couple of
played.
Yankee fans that are fucking losers, but nonetheless, then he during the whole Javi Baez Lindor thumbs down thing, and Michael Kay was shitting on it, the Michael Kay show. Marcus Stroman then just accuses Michael Kay of being a racist because he doesn't have minorities on the show.
You know what though? That's a
And now
crazy.
here's Michael
Like,
Kay, the voice of the Yankees.
you know what? This is a crazy thing about that too. Is like, how do you even respond to that if you're Michael Kay? You're just like, I don't.
Yeah, I don't know what to say to that.
Because like, I mean, like,
and he's still like upset about it because someone called in. He's like, I know you have your history with Marcus Stroman. He's like he was like a little bit of history. It was mortifying being accused of being called a racist.
yeah, it's really it's kind of a tough look.
Yeah, I mean, Michael Kay is not a racist. Let's hope not. But
Well, I mean, okay, forget about that. But you're complaining about your staff. Look at what the Mets have right now. Look at that rotation because you got
fair.
Senga. You can either put Quintana or Severino at 2. Wow, what a 1-2 punch.
Severino.
Yeah, Severino 2, Quintana 3, Manea 4, and then what? Peterson or McGill 5.
You can put McGill at 5.
How many lefties do we have in this rotation? Ooh, yeah, let's throw McGill at 5. That's great. Was he going to be like a 7 ERA guy again? None of these guys will pan out. This is just year in, year out.
He had a good year 2 years ago.
Did you really just say that? He had a good year 2 years ago?
He had a good first half.
It's the first 4 games, and then he goes on an absolute terror run where he's just walking everyone in, letting up so many home runs.
Offensively, the Yankees also get not the Yankees. The Mets also get Harrison Bader.
So you willing to sign a guy for 1 year, 10.5, who's statistically worse than Tommy Pham, who you let go on a 1 year, $6 million deal. He was willing to re-sign here, by the way. He made that very clear. You didn't even make an attempt at it, and you got a guy with worse stats offensively and almost potentially defensively. And what, you give 10.1 to a fourth outfielder, Stan, a fourth. He's not 1. Not 2, not 3. You're looking at 4. And if Jet Williams gets called up midway through the season, you could be looking at 5. So if he pulls a Jed Lowry where you don't play Jed Lowry as a Met, what was he? 0 for 3 with a walk, and he had 2 years. 2 years, $20 million. If I'm looking at something like that again, I'm gonna lose my mind. I really am. I'm really gonna because this.
Yeah.
We're already off to a bad start. You signed Manea for what? 2 years, $38 million.
Yeah, that's
how much of an overpay that is. Nobody wants to play in New York right now. Nobody wants to be a Met because of what happened last year. And the way that Stearns is attacking this offseason, they don't give Alonso an extension. You just give him a 1 year, 20.5 arbitration deal. It doesn't really seem like he's coming back. It doesn't seem like you want him back, Stearns, which honestly for me is a little outrageous. You get a cornerstone franchise guy, homegrown, could be potential 500 home run hitter.
Around, yeah.
Well, this team, the team right now for me, Stan, I've lost the plot. We've lost the plot.
Okay, but here's my thing. Do you think that the Bader signing is a step in the right direction for Alonso? For Alonso saying because they were teammates in college, they're really good friends. Maybe that's Bader. Maybe the Bader signing is just a way to please Pete Alonso. Maybe that's like a pitch for him to stay.
I think this is a desperation effort because they're now willing to give him the money that he wants, but every other ball club in the MLB is. So I'm not really sure what the problem is here. Just give him the goddamn money. I don't know I don't understand why they're holding back. What is making you? I understand he had a bad batting average last year. Okay, that's fine. But and we're not a huge advanced stats guy. I'll give you that. But with an expected batting average of 250 he had last year with like 50 bombs.
Yeah.
If you're gonna get that almost every year, why are you not willing to give him?
Why are you not willing to give him that money?
$300 million, $250, $300 million. I don't understand because everyone else is getting it.
Yeah, makes sense. The Yankee side of things, I do want to go back to. There's oh my god, I just had it, then I lost it. I'm blanking now. What is it? Something to do with with the rotation. Yeah. With the rotation, I think they're just going to keep it as it is. Although, on paper, it's a good rotation. But if Rodon and Nestor do not play well, then it's a horrible rotation. But here's my thing. My thing is, you look to the trade market. Bieber, Cease, you're going to have to give up a lot. We just gave up a lot for Juan Soto. Bieber, not that much, but Cleveland isn't going to get rid of him. And then maybe Blake Snell, Montgomery, you could sign, but then you don't want to give them too much money because the priority next offseason is to extend Juan Soto. So there is I think they're going to keep the rotation as it is. And if it's good, then great. Hey, great rotation. But we'll see. I feel like their priority has been offense because the offense was abysmal last year. So there's that. In other news, the Cubs get Shota Imanga. I'm kind of glad that the Yankees didn't get him. He's a fly ball pitcher. A fly ball pitcher in Yankee Stadium is a disaster.
I would have taken anything for the Mets. You could have given me a bucket of baseballs. I would have been happy.
That's fair. The Giants made a very questionable move, signing Jordan Hicks to a 2-year, $42 million contract. Now get this, he's going to be a starting pitcher, not a reliever.
Arm injury waiting to happen.
Yeah, I don't understand this because, I wanted the Yankees to get him. At first, I was kind of annoyed that we didn't get him because I was like, shit, that's a good bullpen arm to get. Then I read the tweet further that they're using him as a starter. You could have one of the most dangerous eighth inning, ninth inning guys with Jordan Hicks and Camilo Doval, but then decide, no, let's give the guy that throws 103 with control issues and only throws 2 pitches the starter's role.
Yeah, the thing for me in that situation is you're getting a guy with super control problem. And when you look back to like a guy like Aroldis Chapman, same kind of situation. Came in as a starter, terrible control issues. He was a starter. He
was a starter?
Yeah,
fair. All right.
Arm injury happened, bad control issues. The thing is, you know a relief pitcher when you have a relief pitcher, and you know a starting pitcher when you have a starting pitcher. There's a huge difference, okay? There's guys that can go in the pen and can work from out of the pen, and there's pitchers that when they go in the bullpen and they come into games, they fall apart. And for me right now, the way I'm looking at this is a terrible, terrible, terrible move. And unless I'm I don't think I'm going to be proved wrong. But in what world is Jordan Hicks a starting pitcher? Like, tell me in what world? Because
I don't think he is.
I don't know. He throws like 106 miles an hour. Like, come on.
Anyway, the NBA. What is it? Shit. Oh, yeah. Knicks got OG Anunoby. So far,
Shout
so
out
good.
to him. Highest plus minus for any player in a new team in the first 5 games. I think it was like 114 or something.
Well, yeah, it was like 112, something crazy like that. You trade RJ and quickly. Quickly, sad to see him go, but it seemed like the Knicks were not going to pay him the money that he deserves. So just trade him. It seems like this trade is working out for both sides. RJ, I think Carmelo Anthony said it best. Did you see what he said?
What?
I'm an RJ guy through and through, but he's kind of right. Carmelo Anthony said in his podcast, he basically said that he's a very bland player. Like, you don't know what he's going to give you. There's nothing really opens your eyes with him. Yeah, he's a good player, but you don't know what he's going to get you. He might give you 4 one night, and he'll give you 24 the next. And ironically enough, 2 days ago, he dropped 24, and then last night he dropped 4, which I just find hysterical.
I mean, it's just how it goes with him. He dropped 36 the other night, too.
Yeah, like, I think that this trade is... It's a good trade. It's a good trade. It helps out both sides. And hopefully it means a new trade. Maybe they need a backup, too, off the bench. Because, although Deuce McBride has been doing really well, I would really love to see a guy like Malcolm Brogdon.
That might be expensive, though. Well, you'll see.
I would really love a guy like that. We have so many draft picks, Tim. I would really love a guy like Malcolm Brogdon.
Well, we'll flip it to the Cavs side of things real quick. We're kind of in the same spot as you guys are. I think we have the same record. I want to say Knicks and Cavs. I think they're either tied or one's in front. At this point, it's so tight.
Maybe. Let me check.
Are you guys 22-15? I think it's what Cleveland is. Maybe
we
23.
Lost to Dallas the other day. 22-6. You're ahead of us.
Yeah.
The 4 through 8 is like a fucking.
It's all the same. It's all the same.
It's a whirlwind. Pacers have jumped back up to 4. The Cavs are 5. Knicks 6.
Yeah.
Then the Heat, Magic, Bulls, and Nets.
Cleveland's starting to get their footing again. They were struggling immediately after Darius Garland, Evan Mobley went down. Their defensive net rating went from, I think, 7th in the league to 23rd initially in that first week. So that was a struggle for them. They're starting to figure it out again. Sam Merrill's been great off the bench. And honestly, Karis LeVert has stepped in as that six-man scorer role. He's been phenomenal these past few games. I like what I'm seeing. If Jared Allen could figure out a way to play like he does when Evan Mobley's not in the lineup, like if he could get 20 and 20 with Mobley in the lineup somehow,
and Mobley could. I know it's a stretch. We might have something special here
Yeah,
because
it's a stretch.
Allen's been playing great. Donovan Mitchell's been playing great. I can't wait till Garland comes back. If they could just add, because Strus may have got hurt the other night, but if they could just add for me a wing
Oh, he
defender.
got hurt. I thought he got benched.
He played like 3 minutes. I don't know if you got. I didn't see what really happened.
I think he got benched.
Yeah, he hasn't been great, and Georges Niang's been eh. So I would really like another wing
He did all right.
3-and-D guy would be nice. If we could add 3-and-D wing guy would be really nice, but we'll see what can happen. I don't know. I like the spot we're in. I'm already feeling it. It's gonna happen again. Knicks Cavs playoff series is bound to happen for the second time.
Oh boy.
So
We look to the Celtics got killed. The Timberwolves still number one.
oh, hold on. That 62-point blowout the other night. Oh my gosh, did you see that?
Yes.
OKC on the Blazers.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Why do you think I want Malcolm Brogdon? Why do you think I want Malcolm Brogdon? Let's see. Lakers and Warriors, man. Tough.
Dude, what a fall from grace. And
Tough.
here's the thing with the Lakers too, because it's the same thing it was last year. This is the same spot they were in last year, wasn't it? Sort of similar.
Yeah, and then we were all kind of like, well, if they,
If they get in,
Fine.
they're gonna get in. They're gonna get in.
Yeah, I think they find a way to get in. They're gonna make some crazy trade deadline acquisitions. I still can't believe this game got canceled. This is.
Did you see the snow though? They were offering to pay people
Yeah.
$20 an hour
I know.
and give free food if you could shovel overnight.
Yeah, that was. And those crazy Bills fans. Damn. I wanted 3 games. Now we get 2. We get deprived. I'm blanking on if we're missing on something here. We're doing what I saw, or we're doing NHL.
There's way too much. We'll do NHL on Tuesday.
there's way
We got to
too much.
recap a ton because there's a lot to talk about. Because it's
There
getting to
is.
that point now where people are starting to get trade rumored and people are in the market. I'm gonna just.
Yes.
I saw something about Markstrom. We'll talk about it on Tuesday. Leave it at that.
Mm-hmm. So I'll start off with what I saw. What I saw is this picture that Tim sent me the other day.
Oh,
Okay. This
kindergarten CYO basketball stand.
This is 2009. The background here looks like the background. I mean this in a joking way. I do not mean this serious. I mean, well, yeah. Everything's a fucking joke nowadays. The background looks like something out of an episode of SVU where the criminal takes pictures. If you get what I mean, yes. You see me at the top right here, right behind him. The girl next to me, I don't know who this is. She looks like she's on crack cocaine.
Dude, look at Pete Murray. Shout out Pete Murray. Look at him in the cleft corner over there next to Kevin
Yeah.
Daly.
Oh yeah.
He looks-
Let's see. The 3 girls that are volunteering, they look very hungover.
Yeah, no, this
God-
was just
God bless them.
it's honestly just a classic picture. I was looking
It
through
is-
photos the other day and I saw it and I was like, that's hilarious. I gotta send that to Stan.
That's I could not believe that. There's a lot of high class hoopers on here, and by high class I mean the lowest class that you
Yeah,
can even think
we all
of.
panned out. We all panned out.
We all panned out, exactly. Speaking of basketball, New York Sports Exchange Men's League basketball coming soon. This summer.
Oh yeah. Let me distribute. Let me just facilitate. Let me be a bench point guard.
Yeah, you're the bet. Yeah, I'm bringing my luggage, and it's Louis.
I told you, I'm that white safety
Yeah.
from Colorado. I ain't going
Yeah,
nowhere.
you're the white safety from Colorado. My next one I saw is the Chicago Bulls. What a disaster if you're a Chicago Bulls fan after last night. Basically, they had their annual Ring of Honor night, and they inducted basically all of the role players from the 90s Bulls. So, and ironically enough, they were playing the Warriors. They inducted Steve Kerr, and
There was
to
so much
start-
booing.
no Michael Jordan, no Scottie Pippen, no Dennis Rodman. Then what's the fucking point of having a Ring of Honor night if one of those 3 aren't there? I think Jordan had a video, and then Pippen did not. I think Pippen just no showed, just didn't do anything, and then I think Dennis Rodman wrote a letter saying that he had another thing. I think Dennis Rodman wanted to go, but he couldn't.
Who were they booing? They were booing Krause, right?
No. Jerry Krause was also inducted to this Ring of Honor, and for those who remember The Last Dance, Jerry Krause was was portrayed as, I mean, rightfully so, because he wanted to break up this dynasty for whatever reason. I guess 6 championships isn't good enough for you, Jerry, but he was being booed when they introduced him. But here's the catch: Jerry Krause has been dead for like 7 years, so his widow was representing him, and the entire arena booed his widow.
Yeah,
And she started crying.
I don't think anyone seemed to realize that. And then you go post game to what Steve Kerr had to say.
Steve Kerr, he was disgusted.
He did not hold back, and I would be too if you're booing a widow of an owner.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah. He wasn't the owner. He was the general
GM.
manager.
Sorry, GM. Yeah, sorry, but still, like, what are you doing?
I don't know. But then, like, the announcer, the PA, he's like, that was the most, like, disgusting act I've seen from people. And he goes, we're not New York. We're not Philly. This is Chicago. And I'm like,
Nah, he's not wrong though.
I mean, he's not. I mean, New
Dude,
York. I mean, Philly,
I mean, this is horrible to say, Stan, but if James Dolan passed away tomorrow, Knicks, MSG would be erratic in cheering. So, like, I don't.
Remember when he got COVID?
That's what I'm saying, and everyone's going crazy. So, like, he had to ban signs of
Fine.
people telling him to leave, get out of here. He's like, you can't bring any of these signs in the games anymore. He's like, I don't like you.
Kicked Oakley out.
Yeah.
Didn't he kick Spike Lee out once?
Remember when Spike Lee tried to go through the employees' entrance? They're like, you can't go through. He's
Yes.
like, are you kidding me? He's like, I'm Spike
Like,
Lee.
I'm Spike Lee, man. I basically am an employee.
Yeah, I am the Knicks.
I am the Knicks. All right, Tim, you're what I saw.
I saw Melo say that the Nuggets gave Jokic 15 to erase what he did there. But then I thought about it, and I was like, he was a second round. He was a second round pick.
Second round pick drafted during a Taco Bell Quesarito commercial.
Yeah, and he, if I'm not mistaken, he's the one that kind of forced himself out of there. I know they made a couple trades and kind of broke up the team that he was planning to be a part of, but he was the one that said I want out. So I don't know.
Yeah,
that's what I saw. Some
I'm
delusion.
I'm fine with them retiring Jokic's number, because then that means Carmelo Anthony's number 7 will be hanging in the rafters at Madison Square Garden.
It 100% will be.
It should be.
It should be next to 1.
I will be there no matter what.
It's got to be next to 1.
Who was one?
Stat.
Oh, Stat.
Amari.
Yeah. Oh my
Throw
God.
Amari up there.
Amari. I didn't even tell Tim this. We're gonna do new segments. 2 very quick segments. Not bet of the day. I think we do a bet of the day, and then, but then really it's too late, because by the time this episode's out, probably the bets will probably be going on right now, so no one can tail them or fade them. So we're gonna do song of the day. Tim, just name a song. Song of the
All
day.
right.
Great song.
For people who haven't seen the movie, I haven't seen it either. This new movie called Saltburn. I don't know what it's about. Not seen it.
God.
But that song, Murder on the Dance Floor, is so catchy. I have been listening to it nonstop for 2 days. It is so catchy. That is my song of the day. It's so catchy. It's so catchy.
That movie, I hear it's like, there's like one scene where that song's playing, and it's like, it's very out there.
I've heard some crazy things. I'm not interested in this movie whatsoever, but that song really got me going. So that's my song of the day.
My song of the day is "Fly" by Sugar Ray.
Dude, I was
listening to Sugar Ray.
I was listening to that the other day too. You know what? Another good song by
awesome.
Sugar Ray is that you should listen to.
Which one? I've been on a Sugar Ray. kick.
I got you, dude. Best beach music for anyone who hasn't listened to Sugar Ray. Best beach music out there, especially that song "Fly." It's probably my favorite beach song of all time. But another song, yep, "Every Morning" by Sugar Ray.
Oh, yeah, I love. Yeah, that song's good. I think it goes "Fly" than "Every Morning." "Every Morning" is more streamed on Spotify than "Fly."
Really?
Fly's so
Fly's
much
better.
Yeah. Fly's so much better. I love Sugar Ray. Yeah, that's it. We'll get these out. We'll get this out soon on Spotify. YouTube probably not, but nonetheless.
Good happy.
I don't know. We haven't closed out. I need to find my fastball.
Yeah.
Podcasting. Like I need to find my fastball.
Stick to
Right
the
now,
off speed. Stick to the
right
off speed
now-
then. Let's
right
throw a
now-
curveball in
right
there.
now-
Let's stick to the
right now-
off speed.
Right now I'm throwing 60. I need to be throwing 90. All right.
You know what?
that's
you
gonna
know what?
wrap
You know
it
what?
up.
You're throwing 90. You're just not locating. That's all it is. You just gotta locate.
Yeah,
That's all
not
it is. Just gotta
locating.
locate.
Just gotta locate. That's gonna wrap it up. Be sure to follow us on Instagram, X, and TikTok. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube. Like this video on YouTube. Leave a comment. B-Dub's video coming soon with my nice, lovely tripod here.
Tonight.
Tonight. 9 o'clock, right?
I'll pick you up
Lovely,
after I get to
lovely.
work.
Lovely. Be sure to follow us and rate us on Spotify.
5 stars.
5 stars only. I just realized B-Dubs better have Peacock because then I will riot.
I'll bring a laptop.
but-
I'll bring my laptop.
Bring the laptop.
I'm sure they'll have Peacock stand. There's like 75 TVs in there. They're gonna have to show at least one game.
That's fair. My AirPod just fell. Oh, great. I hate
It's all
the
right.
pros. Like, I don't hate them because, like, the sound quality's great, but, like, I
Pros
struggle
suck.
to...
Original AirPods are better. Don't spend your money on the Maxes that are like $500. That's
I got 'em
my
for
that's my
Christmas.
list.
I got him. I got him for Christmas. Be sure to follow us and rate us on Spotify. I don't know if we already said that.
5 stars.
5 stars only. Enjoy Super Wildcard Weekend. Are we even calling it Wild
Super
Card
wild
Weekend?
card, few days.
Few days. Well, for some it's a weekend because it's Martin Luther King on Monday. So leave it at that. Enjoy the games. Win your bets. Hit your bets. Also, not doing college basketball video. So if you're seeing this by the time that this is up, Texas A&M -2.5.
Love it.
Texas A&M -2.5. All right. Peace out, guys.